Hey guys, it's me Rebecca. So this will be the start of another weekly vlog. As you can tell, I'm wearing the same shirt I wore at the end of my last vlog as I did update on my fun of thoughts of by young women. And I did start a new book, Foundryside by Robert Jackson Bennett, and so far I'm on page 30 and I am very much intrigued. We start by following this thief named Sansa? I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'm gonna butcher it. I know. I'm sorry. But we first are introduced to her when she's on this mission, I guess, to steal this box from the safe in the wealthy area, the waterfront area of her city. And we see how she does it and all of the obstacles she faces when stealing this box, which she kind of can see why it's important, but doesn't really understand the full value of it. And according to the synopsis, unbeknownst to her, what she stole is an artifact of unimaginable power, an object that could revolutionize the magical technology known as Skyven. If the ruthless merchant houses who control this magic can unlock the artifact's secrets, they will rewrite the world itself to suit their aims. And Sonia, we see that she has this ability that if she touches an object, she can kind of see the history of this object and feel the full force of the object. And she uses this to learn the secret of a wall to find like a loose rock in the wall, a loose tile on the wall. She uses this on the ground to see where the guards are, and yeah. And with her powers, it has something it's like she is extremely sensitive, I guess, to touch. Like when it comes to the material of clothes she wears, because she has to change her clothes from her dirty clothes that she's wearing to clean clothes, and it's like she explains it as like when you take a nice warm bath and then plunge yourself in ice cold water, how extreme it can feel. She cannot stand human touch, and as well with the food she eats. Like she mentions she cannot eat meat because she can see the history of the animal that came from, and yeah, you don't want that. So yes, and it's like this her bare skin, her bare touch. So she always has to wear gloves in order to hide herself, or I guess not hide herself, but I don't know, use her ability when she wants to, I guess. But yeah, and I'm also intrigued by her background, like her history, because when she uses her ability way too often or at a very high volume, she has this scar on her temple that just throbs and causes her pain, and I'm like, where did she get this magic? Like, was it like inserted in her and through surgery? Like, yeah, and I guess with the rest of this story, we see how someone in a powerful houses once or that in one artifact for themselves, and in order to have a chance of survival, she will have to marshal unlikely allies and undergo her own transformation. So it looks like she will go through a lot, but yeah, so far I am intrigued by this, and I am liking the idea of like how if she touches something, she will feel it. Like if she touches a human being, she will see their thoughts, and a human thought is like very messy. Like she almost finds it intolerable, and yeah, I'm wondering how that will affect her and how that will affect the rest of the story. So yeah, very much intrigued about this novel. Yeah, and so for today, this is something I know I've really done is just cut the grass, which usually just takes it out of me just because it can get quite hot. The machine can cause it to get cut and causes me to feel warmer than it is outside. If that makes sense. So Yeah, and I had to cut down some vines in front of my house, so yeah. For the rest of the day, I'm just gonna be doing some cleaning and just will preparing for the upcoming week. So yeah, I'll see you when I see you. So it's the next day, and I've just done some work and whatnot, and I have done some reading of Foundryside, and now I'm on page 112, and I'm still I'm liking it. I do get what's happening in the story, and I'm intrigued. But at the moment, I just don't really feel connected to the story. Like I don't know if it's Robert Jackson Bennett's writing style is just not 100% working for me or what. But yeah, so far I am intrigued. We do learn about the thing that Son there was a pronunciation of thing at one point that just went over my head. I'm sorry. But we learned what she stole from that safe, which was a box, and inside of this box was this like a secret like compartment thingy, in which was this key. And this key was made out of something that's older than Tavain, which is the country that Sanya lives on, and it's old stuff like occultinage stuff that the other houses want for themselves because it allows them to control everything to make grand changes that will really have a lot of impact on everyone. And with this key, it can open any lock you can sort of. And for some reason, with Sonia, when she's touching it, like in her hands, it speaks to her, like it's whispering in her head. It can read her thoughts and all that. So yeah, she has this magical key that she has to deal with, and there are people who are after it and after her really because of what she did at the waterfront. And we see how one soldier one guard, that's the word, who is in a lot of trouble because of what happened on the waterfront, who wants information on the faith. And he has this weapon, it's like a very powerful whip that he takes some people out. And Sonia, she goes to not mentor, but I guess her partner's lair, not his house, but his meetup spot. And she realizes that there are other soldiers there, and high likely he's dead, and that the place is rigged, and it's a whole thing with other soldiers from all over the houses, and one of them, or someone, a soldier or someone from one of the houses, he uses this device that prevents all scribes, or which is the thing that used to kind of give this thing like power and gift, and whenever she loses the power she has, and we see how that's affecting everything in the commons, which is like the poor of the country. And interesting things have happened, and a lot has happened in my friends so far. And again, I am intrigued to see like what Sonia will do next and what will happen, because right now she is on the one, because there were soldiers who are out for her, who saw her face, and she did lose her entire not allowance, her savings, which was this coins that she had in her backpack, and the backpack was destroyed when an arrow shot at it, and coins spilled everywhere. So she has no savings. She lost her thieving gear, so she is in a lot of trouble. A lot of very powerful people want that thing that she has on her. And yeah, I'm just intrigued on what exactly will happen next. So yeah, and so far intrigued about it. I am liking it, but I'm not like fully like in it. Like there's a fight scene in here between that one of the soldiers who's one of the guards of the waterfront who's in a lot of trouble because of what happened, and someone he went to try and find information about her, and who was behind the thief itself. It was like this kind of like fight scene between him and some bouncers. Is that a word? Yeah, bouncers at the bar, and some of the guards protecting this guy, and yeah, I just didn't really care for him. So yeah, just cause, but I do typically don't care for fight scenes, so that could be it as well. But yeah, and for the rest of the day, I'm just planning to do some more work, maybe some cleaning. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, that's all for now. Also, I just added it to the previous video that you're watching. I'm so sorry for it being an hour long. I don't realize how much I ramble until I like put together the video. But thank you for sticking with me on all of my rambling. So yeah. And as you saw from the below and from the state of me, I did go to the beach today, and I did actually swim. So yeah, this is what my hair looks like after I do my conference and everything with it, so yeah. And I have done some reading of Foundryside, and I'm on page 182, and I'm still intrigued by what I have to say, the explanations of what Skyring is and how it works and all that. When we get it, it still goes over my head. I don't know if it's because I'm not in my headspace for this kind of thing. Like I tend to be reading this when I'm quite tired. I don't know why not. Yeah, but it is interesting. We do learn exactly who the owner of the safe is, and how much trouble he'll be in if the merchant house he works for finds out how. Because he wasn't supposed to be funding any operations of this, and his attempts to find treasures of this kind. And we do see how there are people out there who are trying to kill Sonia, and then we Gregor, who has found her, and we see like how some of them have kind of done something that's practically illegal in the city, which is defy gravity. Apparently none of the merchant houses are supposed to do that. It's because it's dangerous, it puts human lives at risk, it does them impossible, but someone was able to allow these 9 assassins to do it, to try and kill Sonia. And yeah, we see how Gregor and Sonia they seem to be working, or how they work together, even if he wants her to answer for what she did. Like, Gregor just wants to help people, he wants to do good, and there's a sense of naivety in him, because he is from the merchant houses. Like, he only sees the pretty stuff, the good stuff. He's never really truly seen the reality of the commons, how people live in such poverty. So that is something I like that's being explored. Yeah, and we do kind of see some certain events that led to Sonia getting that plate thing in her head. We learned that she was a slave in plantation, and because she did escape her slave masters who were performing experiments on slaves, decided she's next, and you see how they performed this experiment on her, which is, I'm guessing, how she got that plate thing in her head, which it doesn't allow her to dream, but it does allow memories. So yeah, and I guess so far there's still stuff that's I'm less intrigued about, even through the stuff about Skyrim is just going over my head, but yeah, so far I'm liking it, and yeah, that's all I have for today. And besides that, I did do some work and whatnot, and yeah, for the rest of the day, I don't know why I'm so this out of it today. I think it's just because it is in the mid-90s, and I don't know, the heat is affecting me for some reason, yeah, and it's out of it for some reason, so yeah. I'm just gonna rest for the rest of the day, so it's the next day, and I've just done some work and whatnot, and I have done some reading the Foundryside, and now I'm on page 252, and again, I'm still liking it. Why this word we do see more of like what exactly happened to Sonia to have that metal plate in her head when she was on the island in slavery. Like they did, there were scribers who did perform experiments on humans because it would allow them to get more resources or more stuff. Like they were hoping to kind of expand like what they could do with scribing and see if they could use it on human beings, which in the city of Tavan is illegal essentially. Well, because I wasn't in Tavan, well, yeah, that's a word. But essentially, she was, I don't know, she had a plate and stone in her head because these scientists looked at her and thought, this is not a human being, this is an object. Something we can experiment on before we experiment on actual human beings. Like, she was seen as less than human because she was a slave. So, yeah, but and honestly, like, sorry, there's a motorcycle going by. I'm not gonna edit that out, but yeah, like, she was sedated. Like, she wasn't knocked out at all. Like, when they cut into her head, like, she could feel them slicing into her head, pulling her skin back. Like, she felt all of it. And honestly, she thought she died and was surprised that she woke up. Even the Skyver was surprised she was alive. And she did get her revenge on the moon. Yet, the reason that the reason Skyrim humans in Taverns illegal is because unlike objects that are simple, like iron is iron, stone is stone, you get the idea. Humans are complicated because we're not this one thing. We see ourselves as multiple things. Like take the guard who caught her. Like Gregor is his name. He sees himself as a soldier. He's a son. He's a friend. Like we're more than this one thing, and it's so complicated, so complex to describe for a human that. That's why it's outlaw. And we do see that in with her case, Sonia, she was promised like there would be a physique who would be able to cut that plate out, and likely it was a scam to get her money and do something with her, like either kill her or sell her to a house, like yeah. And I can see like a family maybe with her. What is his name? Orso, who was the owner of the safe, and I'm also enjoying seeing a development in Sonia and Clef's relationship. Like Clef, he feels like he's slowly dying. Like sooner or later, he'll just be nothing. He'll be, I guess, whatever the ingredient to death would be for this object. Maybe he'll just explode. He'll just not exist anymore, and he wants help Sonia and seems to care about her. Like she is giving him now a reason to be alive when he was kept in this darkness for so long. It seems like so. Yeah, and we do see as well that someone. This is important to the plot. That someone is trying to kill Orso. It seems like because he has this object, like somehow. Or they assume he has Clef, which he doesn't, but someone's out to kill him to get the box coffers in away from him. So now they have to all work together. Gregor, Sonia, Bernice, I think her name is. Beer Nice, or however you say. Who was the name that the thief was under? Like, who's killing him and why? So, I think now I am understanding it better. I think that is also, again, my fault, is because I'm either reading this when I'm extremely tired, or I'm just like, for some reason, washing. I don't know why, but it just feels like I'm washing. Like, I do care, so it's not like I'm skimming because I don't, but I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm intrigued to see what will happen next. That's it for now. So it's the next day, and I've just done some work and whatnot, and I have done some reading of Foundryside, and now I'm on page 330, and so far I'm still liking it. I sound like a broken record every time, but so far I do like it. Since we found out who might be behind these assassination attempts on Orson, Sonia, and with the help of Bernice, breaks into this person's camp, like their office, to try and find information, to try and figure out like what they're up to, like why they are trying to assassinate Orson. And Sonia, she learned some stuff that this person is trying to make something that should be outlawed and whatnot. And we also are getting more information about other characters, like the history of their houses. In this case, it would be Gregor learning who exactly was behind what happened at the plantation that Sonia was at, like who was responsible for performing the experiments that were being performed, and learning that the houses, like they are anticipating going at war with one another, and having to kill civilians, kill innocents. And we do learn more about Gregor's views on the world. Like he sees, like he is aware of his privilege, it seems like, and he thinks like what's happening is now why should the merchant houses have the fancy nice stuff and everyone else living in poverty? Like he doesn't think that's fair, that humans should have basic rights like food on the table, access to clean water, being hygienic and all that stuff. Like he's seen the worst of humanity, and he's seen what people will do in desperate measures, because when he was at war, what would be called? The troops he was leading, like they were not misremembered, but the enemy was trying to isolate them and force them to surrender, and they basically starved themselves, and they were all dying, and they were eating diseased rats. Like he's seen the worst, and he doesn't want to see that in a time where there's supposed to be peace. So but in other ways, like besides all of this like stuff we're learning, which is like that's like 10 or so pages, it's really just a lot of planning on how to get Sonia into this mountain that this individual is the leader of, to try and find this thing that they have in their possession, and who just tear the whole operation apart for them. So there's a lot of planning, which and seeing like how Sonia, she she's being forced to do something extremely risky, extremely dangerous, and it's like she's not having it. Like, she sees that this is this witch man's world, and the poor just doing their bidding. Like, for her, like, she might have some freedom, but to her, like, her conditions she's currently in, like, it's not much better than slavery. Like, she's still starving, and on that occasion she is beaten. Like, to her, she feels like she can never get away from it, that she'll never have a better life than what she's currently living with. So yeah, and she's just really had enough of this, like, enough of having to do what the powerful want her to do. Like, what they're asking her to do, what they want her to do, is a lot and could kill her. It's extremely risky. Yeah. I am intrigued by that, and yeah, I think that's all my thoughts for now, so yeah. And for the rest of the day, I'm just gonna be doing some more work. I am finding that because it seems like this weird, like, heat wave we've been through, because in the last few days it's been in the 90s. Today's like 87, I think. Tomorrow's supposed to be like in the mid 80s, so that's good. It's because I do not thrive in the heat. Honestly, I struggle with it, so yeah. Yeah, and that's all for now. So yeah, I'll see you when I So it's the next day, and as you saw, I did go out today. I did have to help my mom with some stuff, and we just went some errands and all that, and we did go to the beach again. Neither of us really had the, I guess, courage to swim. I just wasn't in the mood because it was a bit chilling this morning, so yeah. But I have done some reading of Foundryside, and I'm on page 390, and still I am liking it. Sonia and the others, they do go through their plan to steal this object item from the family that sent the assassins after everyone. And the plan goes to shit, because somehow this person figured it out. It seems like, I'm not sure if it's like their spouse or what informed them of the plans, cause also to go to that spouse because of his former relationship to them, for their help and whatever. Or if it's because this person was using the object to track down someone because of the plate in her head. But yeah, things go to shit. It seems like this individual initially, like, just started to question Sonia to figure out where Clef is, because he's after the key or one. And when she doesn't answer him, he does hit her inappropriately. Like, he goes to, like, slap her, and when he sees she doesn't flinch, he backs away, because I guess, like, to him it's important that people are fearful of him. And so his assistant, or someone who's like a very talented scriber, is like, actually she might be useful. It seems like she's a weird case of Bruna, who is the former head of this merchant house, who caused his house to go almost into bankruptcy because he was using the family funds for expeditions to find artifacts, and they had to lock him away because he went mad. I mean, it seems like with his notes that he was able to kind of assist putting that plate in her head. Even like he gave the notes to someone. Yeah, it seems like they also have the box that Clef was with, or in, and the box is like talking to Sonia. and it's like that she was a clerk or an editor or something, and it's like she can kind of like unite herself with the plate in Sonia's head as the scribers who put it in her head. They wrote commands to make Sonia think she's just a slave, she's just an object. Like they wanted to create a perfect slave who didn't think on their own, and yet they didn't. They were too vague about what they were scribing, because you have to use very specific language, and it has created this relationship Sonia has with all objects. So yeah, so my word is so yeah, this thing is, I don't know. She calls herself Valerie. She kind of she fixes like the thing in Sonia's head, the plate in Sonia's head, to make herself almost one with Sonia. And it almost becomes one with Sonia, like it's rewriting the scribes in her head, fixing them and improving them, because the initial scribers, they just do the best job, so yeah. And as well with the plan going to this shit, it seems like Waygor might be in a lot of trouble, let's say. Yeah, I don't want to say what exactly happened to him, but it seems like his mother had to sail a boat to rescue him. And yeah, so far, still like intrigued to see how this will really wrap up, but yeah, and if Sonia like changes with the fact that this plate in her head describes written on it, they're changing it as well. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, and yeah, that's all for now. So it's the next day, and as you saw, I did go out today to this extravaganza the town next to me was hosting, which was this really big fair. And usually on the last days there were some booths of sellers, like to sell jewelry, handmade clothes, organizations that's promoting themselves and whatnot. And I did get a couple things. One was this T-shirt for my from the university I attended, my alumni. I think they were there to promote their like master's program. Not sure, but yeah, I did get a T-shirt from them. So yeah, I'm gonna have to be wary if I write on videos, just cause I don't know, I just don't really want have a lot of information about myself online. It's online anyway, so yeah. But I also did get this cool wing, which yeah, I don't know, I just think it's very beautiful. It costs about $10. And besides that, I did run some more errands. I just went to Trader Joe's and this grocery store that sells Eastern European food that me and my parents like to go to, and that's close to us. And I did do some reading of Foundryside, and now I'm on page 446. And I'm still like in it. Like, we have like there's 512 pages. I'm on 46, so about 60 pages left. So I'm definitely gonna finish this tomorrow. But this will be the end of the vlog, just cause I just want to. So yeah. But anyway, what's happened is the person who initially hired the assassins or controlled them, they tried to figure out like what exactly Sana was. Like, it seems like they just didn't care. Like, he just saw her as this like worthless person. I'm not gonna say any female slurs, but yeah, who's from this poor area, who's from the commons. Like, he is very much entitled. He seems like another asshole who doesn't care. He just cares about profit, and he doesn't really care about the science behind any of this like all he sees is the money and the power that he will get from scribing and whatnot. Anyway, his plans, they don't go into fruition as he is essentially killed by his wife, who has spent like most of her life not being able to scribe or be a powerful scribe who was kind of like hidden away in his place by first her father and then later her husband. Like, she was never given the chance, the opportunity to prove that she is powerful, that she is good at what she can do. Like, we've really just shows the sexism in this community, community, because one of Sonia's like one of the scribes she goes to in the comments, a woman named Claudia, she initially was at this prestigious university and then in this prestigious workplace, I guess. And then things change, and it was decided that women can no longer be scribes, that it will be entirely a man's job. And we see how it's really like most of the merchant house leaders are men. Like, Uegor's mother is the leader of a merchant house, but that is only because she did lose her husband, and then she had to work to prove that she was powerful because of the fact she had a young son, like, who was extremely young. So, yeah, there is that, and what else was there? Because I did take notes, but yeah. Anyway, with the woman who killed her husband, the way she did it was interesting. She used his own technology against him, in the way the plates he used to allow the assassins to defy gravity. She puts it on his chest, and he becomes this ball, and then he explodes, and it's quite... not gruesome is the word, but it's quite messy, quite explosive, you can imagine. And she plans to use like the key and the box that Ursula was supposed to have and that her husband had, to try to become what these people in an older civilization, or older version of human civilization, became. And she wants to become a god, she wants to become an actual maker, she wants to be all powerful. Like, she wants to go from one extreme, which is being powerless, to being extremely powerful. Like, she just had enough. Like, and I totally understand that. Like, but yeah. And as well, in order to do so, it does require a sacrifice, and she already eliminated one individual who stands in her way, so what other choice does she have but to use the other individual? So yeah, I'm very much intrigued to see how that does it, and in order to do that, she must draw these like scribes on herself, and we see how that might affect her father. And it's like she has the box in the office that her father and then later her husband used, and it seemed to be like watching her, like the keyhole is almost like an eye, and it seems like there might be something very evil, very powerful in this box. So yeah, we see how Sonia and others, they try to create a plan to stop this woman, and because the mountain is essentially in lockdown completely, they need to be very creative in how to get back there, because the way Sonia got in the first place was discovered and learned about, and they need to find another. And it seems like there is another individual who is trying to stop these plans as well, and they are using Grigor. And we do learn on like what exactly is up with Grigor, like how he was able to survive being like forced into isolation during the war when all of his other men died, like how he was able to survive this certain battle, this certain place. And yeah, it seems like he and Sonya might have a lot in common. So yeah. And so far I'm intrigued to see how this all plays out in his first book anew. And I have to say, I did look on Goodreads sometimes for this book is labeled under LGBT, and I can see, I don't really know why. But yeah, that's all my thoughts for now. I will be finishing this book in my next vlog, just because I don't know, I just don't really want to hurry this vlog over into tomorrow, just because there might be a chance I might not finish it, but we will see. But yeah, that's it for this vlog. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below, tell me what you've been up to recently. If you want to, please subscribe to this channel. If you want to follow me on any social media, then all those links are in the down bar below. I'll see you guys next time I post a video. Bye.